Against Proposition. Welcome to Californians Against Proposition 1. Today we're going to be talking about Proposition 1 and its effects on people of color.
Thank you all for being here today. We're really glad you're here to learn about how California's Proposition 1, created by Gavin Newsom and his team, posse, I like to say sometimes, and how that Prop 1 affects people of color. So we're really glad that you're here. We have some important people here. Their names are Imari Karyotis. You want to say a few words?
Thanks everyone for coming tonight and holding space with us and learning about what's going on.
Thank you, Imari. She's been such a hardworking advocate for the cause, and so yeah, she's and Paul here is also here. So we're really glad that you're here to support us. And would you like to say a few words?
Sure. Sorry, my camera is just not behaving properly, so I'm just a bear today. But anyway, yes, I'm Paul Simmons, co-founder of Depression and Bipolar Support Alliance of California. I've been in the mental health space for about 8 to 10 years, and if you look at the ballot pamphlet, my name's on it. So obviously I'm involved in this campaign against, and I'm happy to be here with you.
Yep. His name is right there on the bottom.
No.
So, yeah.
Anyway.
Page 14.
Oh my God. I've been delegated to page 14. Also with us is Tanya Richard, who's going to be talking a bit about some of the subjects as well. Tanya, maybe you could just give a quick brief of where you are and what you're doing.
Hi, my name is Tanya Richard. I'm a Medi-Cal peer support specialist in Merced County. Happy to be here in opposition of Proposition 1. Emily, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Emily Wutrong. I'm a national speaker for suicide prevention and mental health awareness. Been involved for over 10 years as a minority of minorities because my own Asian, Pacific Islander, American heritage, cultural, no one wants to talk about mental health, mental illness in my community. So it's very challenging to be an advocate for those suffering in silence. So, all right. Well, thank you, Cheryl, Go Green, Go White, Patrine, Julie, and Glenda for being here. We're gonna talk about Proposition 1, and if Paul, could you share with us a little bit about what Prop 1 is?
Certainly. Proposition 1 is the only proposition or the only initiative on the ballot this March, and that was a strategic action on the part of the governor and his staff. They want us to focus on this, and we certainly are focusing on it. It was created by 2 different legislative bills. That is, the legislature passed 2 bills to put this on the ballot. A lot of ballot initiatives are created, well, you've seen them, tables outside of your local Walmart or wherever, people collecting signatures from the public to put things on the ballot. This wasn't done that way. Although the Mental Health Services Act, which is referenced here on the first slide, was put on by the public through a signature program and was passed 20 years ago. So this ballot initiative rewrites much of the Mental Health Services Act that was passed by the voters back in 2004. And the main things that it does is it moves money from direct mental health services to other programs. And some of these programs are really good and some of them aren't as good, but that's for us to decide. So one of the things is, whoops.
Oops.
Go back, please. Thank you. Substance use disorder independent of mental health diagnosis. So what that means is the Mental Health Services Act from Prop 63 back in 2004. It covers treatment for people with substance use disorder, but only if they also have a co-occurring mental health issue. Now, that's a pretty large percentage, actually, of people who are being served for a mental health issue that also do not have some sort of substance use, but certainly not all. And so what it does is basically takes money from mental health services and puts it into substance use disorder. Housing interventions, and that is a very vague term, actually. It doesn't exactly say what it's for, but it is basically intended to set up a system to put people into the different facilities and such that are going to be addressed by the bond, which is the next thing there. And finally, $180 million per year of what used to go to mental health services is now going up to the state agency, the Department of Healthcare Services, which is part of the governor's administration. The other half of this, the other bill that created it, is a 6 billion, actually 6.38 or something billion dollar bond for housing and mental institutions. They call them beds, meaning you have a bed in a hospital, essentially. Now, this bond was originally intended for veterans housing, but it was repurposed for this particular effort by the governor and his staff. Excuse me. So, go back, please. Sorry. Just to think about that, when this first came out, when they were talking about building some housing and getting some more affordable housing for veterans, in a general sense, most of our organizations that are involved in this were pretty much supportive of it. Housing is important. And again, so is substance use disorder. But that said, as it turns out, the bulk of this is not for housing at all. About 2/3 to 3/4 of this funding is going into basically building mental institutions, what they will call beds or housing interventions. Okay. And Tanya, do you want to take over here?
So if you follow the money, you will see that 1 billion annual reduction of funding for the Mental Health Services Act is going to come from that. 180 million of it per year is going to go to the state bureaucracy, which going to eliminate innovation funding, including modernization of the Mental Health Services Act. Supporters are $16 million from the prison guards, developers, and others that have a financial stake in this. They're going to make millions. They've got Uber, they've got hospitals, pharmaceutical companies, and as well as the police. The loss of local control. So Prop 63, which was originally the Mental Health Services Act, was designed for local control. And then Prop 1 of this year, 2024, is designed for statewide control under DHCS, which is controlled by the governor. So it's going to be from the top down, which we all know that trickle down does not work for the marginalized communities. The implications, it's a huge state bureaucracy that will control what happens at the local level, and it's going to be a one-size-fits-all governance. And we all know that mental health, like everything, is not one size fits all. You can't make one plan and have it serve everyone equally.
Mhm, mhm.
It moves the treatment focus from upstream to downstream. Current programs largely focus more on prevention of serious mental illness, and this new process will strip billions from prevention and early interventions. It's a homeless scam. The governor's advertisement suggesting that it's going to solve our housing crisis and take people off the streets. It is not. What it's going to do is it's only going to have institutionalized more and more people, especially BIPOC people. They advertise it as it's gonna help the veterans. And it's gonna help some, but the cost is $10 billion in bonds. There's no accountability. He uses accountability a lot, and he is not even saying that, he's gonna be accountable to the 4 billion that he had for this fund in 2018. Counties will receive huge unfunded mandates with punitive measures. So with us losing funding, people are gonna be sicker, worse off. And the governor and the bill's author will all be termed out before the negative effects will be seen. So they're gonna kick the can down the road while taking credit for the modernization so that he can have his presidential campaign. But it's a political upside. The people that are donating to him are gonna probably more than likely be campaign donors for his presidential election. Emily.
So yeah, as Tanya said, Newsom, our Governor Newsom it's been said, rumors that he wants to be president. And then we're having the 2028 Olympics coming to Los Angeles, where I am. So if you've seen the news, Gavin Newsom cleared up the streets for the international dignitaries. Okay, he's like, hey, we need to clean up our streets. He's trying to clean up the streets of California to impress all of the international people. And then and he wants to try to chuck most of the homeless people into psychiatric institutions. So where's the respect? Where's the dignity? Why force treatment? Your system right now, I believe that the California behavioral health system right now is already broken. And why are you trying to break it even more? and California is also in a lot of debt right now. Through this bond, if it passes, we're going to be in a lot more debt, and we have to pay, as taxpayers, we have to pay more in interest. How's that for us? Not cool for the next generations and the generations to come. To have to pay off our debt, that's not cool. And so Newsom and his posse, they don't know much about mental health care on the ground level. And so because us peers who have lived experience and have been through the system, understand the system so much more, even though it betrayed us.
Right. So
the
process, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, so the process was developed without stakeholder input. Peers, those who are affected by these changes, were kept out of this process. When listening sessions were held, the governor's representative talked and then left the room. There was no listening. Legislature bullied. Missing meetings with legislatures and legislative staff revealed a great discomfort with the bill, SB 326. They expressed regret that they would not be able to go against the governor's pet project. Like the governor's two previous pet projects, this bullying resulted in almost no effective resistance. They're kowtowing to him and going along with whatever he says. The last minute changes to the bond, AB 531, the bond part, was strictly designed for voluntary unlocked facilities. A few days before passage, this concept was stripped away. And was that timing intentional? We believe so. We believe that timing was intentional because there's no way for us to be there to oppose it. Proposition 1, it's big and complicated. The original bills were hundreds of pages long. The ballot initiative is also long and difficult to understand. They worded it in a way so that it's vague and that people would not be able to understand it. It's over how many pages, Emily? Is it 84 pages?
68 of proposed law in the very back. And I'm just like, who's going to read all this, right? I haven't even finished it, but it's just like it's so wordy. And then not even every definition is not explained. And it's just like, I have so many questions. I'm like, how can the California government really, really, keep all this accountable if right now they're not keeping anyone accountable right now? How do you expect to improve a system when you're not even keeping your current employees accountable across the state? Yes, Paul, did you have
Yes,
a
Paul.
question? Oh, okay.
Yes, I did just want to make a quick comment just in terms of the process. You'll see a lot of ads by the governor saying, oh, Democrats and Republicans and everybody support this. But the process that was just kind of related there shows that this was bullied through the legislature. The governor essentially has said, hey, you vote for, you support me on this, or all the bills that you want passed are going to get vetoed. I may not have said those exact words, but it's really, really obvious from the way that the legislators and the legislative staff communicated with us. And in addition, as might have been there, he's also been threatening organizations around the state who provide mental health services with loss of funding if they do not support this particular initiative. So I'd like to point out where the governor's ads are really like not true. Of course, all ads in a campaign, they try to spin they try to do a lot of spin. They like to try to make it look good or bad or whatever they want.
Yeah.
But they're going pretty far over the top on a lot of this stuff. So anyway,
They sure are.
sure,
Yeah,
go
they
ahead.
sure are.
Yeah.
I mean, because like when I think about the day when they had a Zoom meeting, I attended the Mental Health Services Oversight and Accountability Commission meeting when they passed SB 326, and I was like, what? Only two people said like didn't want it to pass, Rachel and Katera. They were the only two peers that didn't want it to pass, and then like like there were two neutrals, and then the rest of them all said, let's let it pass. And I'm like, wait, what? I just shared my story about me not trusting the mental health care system after being one of the faces of the California mental health movement. So anyways, yeah, it was such a disappointment that day. Tanya, you want to keep going?
Okay, so mental health in the BIPOC community, especially mental health in California. According to a survey, 23% of Black Californians report a mental health condition, and 14% report having a family member that has a mental health condition, though we only make up about 5% of California's population. Black, Hispanic, Latino, Latina, Native American, and Asian Pacific Islander children experience higher rates of serious emotional disturbances. If our prevention and early intervention programs go away, these children are going to fall through the cracks. They're not going to get the help and the services that many of them are already receiving, but the ones that they're receiving, once this goes into effect, they're going to lose those services. Black and brown people are more often diagnosed with schizophrenia and less often diagnosed with mood disorders compared to white people with the same symptoms. Additionally, they are oftentimes given the wrong medications or not offered needed medications and therapies at a lower rate than the general population. Yes.
But Tanya, can I step in just for a second?
Yes.
I'm a person of color. My father's Korean. My mother was indigenous. When we met with Gavin Newsom, he told us that Care Court and SB 43 and then Proposition 1 was this whole stable foundation. It was like a three-legged stool. And I had asked him and some of his staff, well, have you gone through this process, the petition, the court, and all of that? And he had the audacity to look at me and go, Amari, I'm not doing this for us. I'm doing this for them. When he didn't even talk to us. And I stood up and I said, well, Gavin, I said, I'm them. I said, you're doing something without even having a conversation with me on how I can make it, you know, what path do I need to go on? What resources do I need to take to be in a better place? Now you're telling me that you want to lock me up and put me in a straitjacket and put me in a room. And that's the day I lost all faith in Gavin. And I told him so. Because you can't make choices for other human beings without having them at the table and having a discussion with us. So thanks for letting me interject.
Anytime, Amari, that was good information. Thank you for sharing it.
Yeah. Imari, thank you so much for sharing that, because when I started learning about the peer psychiatric survivor movement on a state level and a national level, their slogan is nothing about us without us. How can you make laws and rules about a population that is usually so silent that the ones who are willing to speak out, why can't you give them a seat at the table, Gavin Newsom? Why can't you let us hear what plans you have to see whether it's something? Because the MHSOAC, when it actually started, right, when what Paul was talking about, it was MHSOAC started because of Proposition 63 in 2004. And I used to actually be one of the subcommittee members for the MHSOAC Client and Family Leadership Committee. And the most important thing that they took pride in was the community stakeholder input. But if we take away the original funding of community mental health services, that's going to go away. And Gavin does not want us to have that community stakeholder input. He just wants to be able to snatch the money from our MHSA, Mental Health Services Act, and put it arbitrarily in what he wants without, there, like Tanya said, no one size fits all. So yeah.
Okay, so this campaign, he's spending $16 million on this campaign. He's got advertising budget and he's doing emotional appeals. He refuses to debate the issues, and he's not being open or transparent in our discussions with our communities. If you can't make your case and you're spending millions, yes, $16 million so far, exactly. If you're spending millions and you want something that's gonna benefit everyone, you should bring the people that it affects to the table. You can't make your case just by spending millions of dollars on ads that appear to appeal to fear and sympathy, but not the real issues. And I'm just gonna say it, the smoke and mirrors is seriously just, it's feeling like a Republican talking point instead of a Democratic talking point, period. This is his political campaign. We all know that. This is his presidential bid. Susan Eggman and Daryl Steinberg, they're in the public talking about Proposition 1, and they're misrepresenting it with the details and the likely effects of that it's really going to have on our populations. Are there any questions? Anyone want to come in and speak?
Don't be shy. We're not gonna eat you.
Do you want to stop sharing your screen so that we can get
Yes.
everyone on it?
Yes.
Yeah.
I can see people. Good to see y'all.
Yay.
Exactly.
But
Yeah,
I
I
did put in the chat, Prop 1, our No on Prop 1 campaign. We have spent half of our budget, which right now was $1,340. And we get compared to David and Goliath, but I just, you know, I don't understand why he wouldn't come to the west side of the Capitol when I was there February 1st and have a conversation with me, but he sent his staffers out to bully me. And I said, "Just tell Gavin to go eat ice cream at Auntie Nancy's house. And you know, if he's afraid of
Lauren?
us with $1,000 budget, you know, that says volumes. So, and I can't even call him my governor anymore. I just can't. I'm just so disillusioned with him. But what has other people heard about Proposition 1 in their communities? I mean, not a lot of people, until I started talking in my communities, knew anything about it. So I think it was purposely put on the March ballot so that he thought it would pass.
You know,
So who else has not heard a lot?
the thing what's really interesting is that how he basically have people be interested in other things during the time when he pushes things. Like, I would give like an example. During the time when the care court was happening, a lot of people were just focusing on the Sacramento Kings and the Golden Warriors, it's like, and also the same thing, so close of this ballot happening in March, because it happened so sudden, so quick, and it came upon us, and it's like really close to their Super Bowl. The thing is, I'm like going, usually when you create a campaign, it takes probably 2 years. I've written press releases before. I've written a press conference, created a conference, press conferences before for various things, because I've been an activist in environmental injustice and arts activism. And the thing, and I also call myself I write letters to the editor, and I do my own research. And Governor Newsom has basically gives an F in so many things, including climate change, environmentalism, but the thing, and also the way he does not care of people in regards of like COVID. So I am not really surprised when basically he creates the most draconian measure thing on the ballot, probably even worse than when the Republican governor at the time, which was Governor Reagan, where basically they released the people from the institutions without providing any housing or providing any wraparound services, and creating a houseless situation. Because right now it's like, what I know, it's going to create a precedence, because what he's doing is he is basically creating broad strokes of showing mentally ill people is the problem and houseless people is the problem. And so he basically says, okay, houseless people are mentally ill people. And so basically what we should do is just give them services. And if they can't comply to those services, well, apparently it's because the reason being is that they are so problematic, we need to have them conserved. But the thing is, he does not say anything about housing. He says about housing, but the thing is, if you have mental services act, which is supposed to be for the county, and they cannot provide affordable housing within their counties, it is ridiculous to think that he could put those into the state and provide programs. And then basically the bond, where is that money going to be coming from? Like where? Like the thing is, it's like just the thing is, the way I see it is that this is how he's making his money. He's making money from the pharmaceutical companies. He's making money from the health insurance companies. He's making money from the California hospitals, the HMOs like Kaiser and the other HMOs. And like basically, he's making money from real estate businesses and property owners, because those are his constituents. His constituents are not the houses people. His constituents are not the veterans. His constituents are not the most marginalized, because the thing is, he does not care about the most marginalized people. You know, the thing is, the Mental Health Services Act for Proposition 63, that was intended for peer-run, peer-led services, evidence-based practices that that works, and those were basically peer-run. Those are the things that they fought for in their disability rights movement, for the consumers, etc., for the mental health. And the voters voted for that. But to basically punish counties for not following what he plans to do, you know, by basically, I don't know if he's going to do, like, he's going to punish them by doing a fee. I mean, the thing is, it's just, this upsets me so much, because if he creates a precedent like this, he's basically pushing back the rights, where basically during the time in the 50s, where people who were poor, feeble-minded, etc., was put in a situation of institutions. And I hate to say the word, but that during the time was considered eugenics. This is basically pushing all the way back to the way things were back in the 1950s. That's how
Glenda,
draconian the situation is.
Glenda, thank you
Yeah.
so much for sharing, Glenda. How long have you been a mental health advocate from Northern California?
Let's see. I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder in 1994,
Mhm.
and I would say during the time of 2008, sometime after 2008, I was introduced to the consumer movement through a peer-run, peer-led nonprofit drop-in resource center in Napa County.
Mhm.
And so I have been basically speaking in the behalf of like mental health in regarding, in regarding to helping the people in the Napa County area. And just what was it? I've been in a situation where basically I've gone to different support groups, and there was a
Yeah.
depression bipolar support alliance group, and
Oh,
I
that's
think
good.
like a family member, she said, if people who with Asian ancestry, they may be more sensitive to medications
Oh,
self-advocate for, like, to start either a lower dose.
yeah.
And it made a lot sense, because at therapeutic doses, I was harmed, and now I'm currently have brain injury and metabolic syndrome. I have diabetes, high
Wow.
blood pressure.
Thank you
I
for
have
sharing, Glenda.
continence and all this stuff. And the thing is, it's like, so
Yeah, it
it's,
sounds like
you
you've
know,
been farmed by the system for a long
Yeah,
time. So
we're
thank you
gonna
so much for
go over
sharing.
here and talk to Denisha.
Yeah,
So
well,
Denisha's got her hand up.
Yeah, Denisha.
Hello, everyone. Um, I think the original question was asked, like, what have you heard about Proposition 1? So I'm a member of United Teachers Los Angeles, a really active member, and part of we partnered with ACE, which is the Alliance for, Community, but it dealt with housing issues throughout the state. And then we also partnered with Lane, which is like they're building an economy that works for all. And that's kind of and then Churla is also with us in immigration rights. And we came up with a platform, and it was actually a member from ACE that brought it to my attention and brought it to our organization's attention. And the sad part is, as I'm wearing a CTA shirt, CTA is supporting Proposition 1, and it's really problematic. We've already been in our legislative session, so I can't make a motion to not support Proposition 1 because we won't be meeting again until May. So that's really unfortunate. I wish I would have known about it prior to, so that CTA would have been on the right side of this issue. I think my real concern is, like was mentioned earlier, the literature, how we're inundated with literature, which is meant to confuse us. And we're inundated with media. Like every time I turn on the TV, I see Gavin Newsom, pushing this Prop 1. And I just feel like it's unfortunate that I feel like it's more than likely going to pass because people aren't really informed when they vote on things like this. And it's really sad, for one. And I hate how they use homelessness as like a tool. It's almost like they weaponize homelessness and they use it for their own political gain and agenda. So I'm really pissed at Gavin Newsom for all this, for what he's doing. And all I can do is just continue to put the word out there.
We thank you so much, Denisha. Thank you. Yeah, he's got a lot of, like, there's another bill where he wants to get rid of residents voting on taxes, they want to increase taxes without voter participation. And he also put through a bill where the developers don't have to get environmental studies of the land that they build on, so they can build on any kind of, it could be waste treatment plants, it can be anything. And that if the cities decide that they don't want the buildings to be built on these problematic areas, the developer can sue the cities. So Gavin is on his track to make himself better than what he should be. It's a scary time in California, especially if you're unhoused, if you have mental health challenges, substance use challenges. He's not making it easy.
No, he's not. And it's just like, I mean, if any of you've seen the newspapers lately, it's like one newspaper article says, Gavin Newsom is raising like millions or billions, and while the opposition team, like Imari said, we only have over $1,000, and it's just like we're all volunteers, but we believe in being David against Goliath because we believe that we need to take a stance for individuals who are, like Rob Wypend. He's going to be one of our future speakers in the future. This book says your consent is not required. The rise of psychiatric detentions, forced treatment, and abusive guardianships. He's a Canadian. He's raising awareness about psychiatric institutionalization all over America. And, you know, and it's just, this is such a validation for me as a psychiatric survivor. Like, and I just wished I had discovered it, like, because, you know, it's just been so frustrating to be a psychiatric survivor, get
Who is
mistreated.
Israel and why are they? So we
What?
have a bomber.
Oh
you
my
know,
God, we do have a
We
bomber.
have a bomber.
Yeah. Yeah, that was called a troll to discourage us, but yeah, you know,
Does anyone know who that person was? Was it someone that's still in this room? Was it the iPhone is 561?
No, they're gone.
No,
Okay,
They're
so
gone, and I will have their information after this meeting so I can block them.
yeah,
Okay.
I
Okay.
removed them and reported them.
so
okay.
this is my art. When I feel like someone says something not nice to me, I remember this quote, and it's not in color yet, but it says, "No one can make you feel inferior without your consent." And you know, this is gonna be beautiful when I put it in color, just like my other artwork. Like, this is my artwork and how I, you know, try to use color therapy to, you know, make me feel better. But yeah, when people insult you and try to like scare you, they're just trying to taunt you, intimidate you. And I'm just like, whatever. No one can make you feel inferior without your consent to. And I hope you do not consent to allowing anyone to make you feel inferior without your consent. So, this is my other artwork, the yin and the yang. And, you know, this is my way of sharing with people that we do have to take the good with the bad. And I'm hoping for more good and holding on to faith, you know, when we live in these fearful times. So we're really glad that you're here. And do any of you have any questions for us? Any discussion points? I
Anything that
need,
you're still confused about?
yeah.
Are there any kind of protests, direct actions, any kind of hashtags or social media campaigns or toolkits that are out that we could send to our friends via email or social media? I mean, like, it seems, gosh, it's just that, what was it? It's only, I mean, we're mid-February, you know, voting is like in March already, and so it's like,
Yes, you
so
can visit.
how's what's effective in getting the word out in your you know.
Yes, this is the contact information you can reach out to. Let me move this. Okay.
So Imari put in the link for our prop1no.com. It's not Propino, it's it's PROP1NO.com. And then if you
Um,
wanted to reach out to us, you can put that contact in the end of the, yeah.
We do have a hand up.
Yes,
If I'm-
the person with the phone number 561, your hands up.
Hi, my name is Ruth. I'm Ruthless on Twitter. I was wondering, like, if it's worth it to put together a tutorial, like, for people to change if they voted already and they became educated about this, and then they wanted to change their vote. Like, can't they do that? I think.
Have you already submitted your ballot?
I haven't gotten mine yet, but I know some people like jump the gun and they like send it. Luckily, the people I've spoken to so far have voted no.
Mhm.
But like I've spoken to a lot of people that have already turned in their ballot, so I was just anticipating encountering that.
I think that once the ballot's turned in, it's pretty much done.
Oh, okay. I thought there was a process. I'll look into it.
If you can
Um,
reach out to your county elections office or your city's election office, just look up the city that you live in, and they should be able to give you a call them up, and they should be able to give you a better answer than that.
okay. Thank you.
No worries. Ashley?
Yeah, I just looked it up and I think that it depends on the state, but you might be able to get in contact with like I think it's the election office, and they might be able to, I guess, rescind your whole ballot and then you would just have to resubmit a new one, but I think it depends on the state. So I would just search it up and get in contact with the elections office.
Yeah. Yeah, call your city or your county's election office, like Ashley said, and they should be able to further direct you on what to do. And the contact information, again, like Emily said, you can reach out to us at 530-298-7995 or go to www.prop1no.com and then hit /contact, or you can read up on the information that's on our website. We are also Californians Against Prop 1 on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and X, as well as YouTube, I think too. iPhone?
Hi, you guys. This is Wendy. I'm calling in on my friend's line. I had a hard time trying to log in, and I want to alert you all that if you do not include https://// if you leave that out and click on that link, it's going to pop up with a suspicious alert. So you must stay consistent, just like it shows on that the flyer right here with Miss Emily. It
Okay,
has https://www.prop1no.com/contact. https: is required.
And it only can you tell? Can I speak?
Yeah.
I had like 30 minutes trying to troubleshoot to get in also because I had signed up about 2 weeks ago and I didn't think I was going to have any problems, but it kept redirecting me to Chrome, to Google, to Apple. I mean, I was just all over the place. And I finally, I had to like navigate to get in. And I said, oh my God, here they go again, trying to block me.
And I had another peer who got frustrated after 30 minutes trying to.
And so that we lost out on another person that want to vote against Proposition 1 because, like you said, it's concentration camps.
I'm so sorry that was
Wendy?
your experience, Wendy. Yeah, you were
Wendy,
texting me
and my
earlier.
friend.
The concentration camps is true.
That was Kimberly.
Yeah. I called him out in a meeting because I can't hold back. And I don't shoot the messenger, but I feel that we're going into a totalitarian nation where they're getting ready to sick the ANI dogs out on us, and they don't care why you were homeless. Because I was homeless because of COVID. I was displaced. I lost my business. I lost everything, and I had to fight EDD while everybody was getting stacks of checks that never worked. I worked since I was 15 years old, never relied on the government because it was never enough for me. And then I want to get help. And they said, well, you didn't suffer enough. So you need to smoke some meth or you need to live on the concrete. That's basically what I went to 2 years. And they tried to steal my voucher. I had to fight workers' comp. It's like I'm constantly fighting. No wonder people have mental health issues. It's this system. They have so many barriers. And now you come across this Prop 1, which you be saying that we're less than animals now because it's behavioral health now. It's past mental health. It's behavioral health.
Behavioral health.
Modernization Act. They about to ensue a law. And, and our precious kids are suffering. You wake up and I say, well, I want to make it better on the next generation. I want to be a part of culture humility. I want to put people back together because there's so much division, separatism. We're fighting a beast. And like someone said, that there's people who is running this world. And that's that 1%. So when the brick come over here and drop the bomb on here, they're not going to just drop it on black people. First of all, we've been genocided. I'm going to keep it real. So we're only comprised of 12%. So black, white, yellow, red, and brown is the 99%. And we got to stop being silenced, because if we don't, I mean, the Bible is being fulfilled, but because God says, watch and pray. But don't be surprised. But that ain't for us to sit back and just be silenced to this violence. So I'm just saying, I speak from my heart. I'm very direct, and I'm so proud of you guys. And we got to do something, like you said, to say no more. Because our kids, I talk to so many young people because I have a childlike demeanor, and they're saying, get rid of the toupee away. You know what they're talking about? You know, the people that's wearing the toupees and the politician, the many blood sucking ticks.
Yeah.
The young people are saying, I mean, you know, the food we eat, there's cloning going on. I'm writing all kind of songs because I am a messenger, but because God gave that to me. But I never thought I'd be in this space. I'm like, what am I doing? So he said he'll take ordinary people to do extraordinary things. So it's no coincidence that we're all in this space. You're not going to meet everybody in the world, but those that you do come across, it's for a purpose. And I'm so proud of you guys. And, you know, just speak up, just do the best that we can, because it's, you know, it's Satan's world. People have robotic souls. You know what I'm saying? And we need to wake up.
To power.
Yeah, you know, it's a cat. Oh, go ahead, Anna. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jane.
I'm just going on, but I'm sorry. I mean, I'm not sorry, but I'm kind of like proud of myself, because I was that person was always in the background, because, you know, I'm a humanitarian. I love the different cultures, and I always promoted that. I'll be 62.
Well, Kimberly, thank you for being here, and I love your energy. And if you'd Wendy, if you'd love to have her recruited on our team, you know, or even Glinda, you know, if we put a link in the chat box about if you want to join our team, and if you're
of course,
with so much passion, we want you, because we can't do it alone. So
amen.
Okay.
Yes, you know, mome hana ichi mome.
Yeah,
I know all about my culture, so I say that to you. But thank you for listening, and I don't want to hold anybody up, but you know, we have to speak the truth. We have to speak the life. We got to think about our babies. Yes. You know, they trying to come together. I was looking at these little Hispanic kids today, because I went to this event at WCSC.
Hold on, Kimberly. Before you start going,
wait. Let me get Jane.
Another story. We've got two more hands.
Yeah,
we got Teresa and one more person.
Okay, Jane, go ahead.
So I want to thank you so much for holding this this webinar. I found it very helpful, very useful. Really appreciate it. And I was just wondering, I know you're recording it. Are you going to post that somewhere or send it to us so that we can distribute to our friends and
it will be posted. The links will be posted on our social media sites and on our website.
Great. Thank you so much.
Teresa?
Yes, hi. I'm so sorry. I had a heck of a time getting in, but I'm no quitter. So I was able to get in 15 minutes ago. And hello, Kimberly, and hello, Wendy, your sister from another mister. And it's still a no for me on Prop 1, but I will take a look at the whole meeting, either on the website or February 20th, right? There's also another town meeting.
Yes.
Is that all right?
On the 20th and on the 27th, correct, Paul?
Right. The 20th is primarily for rural areas. We're going to be focusing on the the effects that Prop 1 will have on rural areas. And the 27th, we're having a guest speaker, an author from Canada who wrote a book, I believe it's called No, Your Consent is Not Required, or something like that. His name's Rob Rippon. He's going to talk a lot about, oh, there it is. Your consent is not required. Oh, stop it. You're making me dizzy. So yes, we have those two, and we'll probably have at least one more in the next couple of weeks.
Yes, so much. You know, if you haven't gotten your
And-
hands on a book like this yet, be sure to
Yeah.
consider.
Shameless plug, if there are any individuals on this webinar tonight that would like to do a webinar opposing Proposition 1, reach out to us.
Or
We
if,
would like to get it out to as many communities as possible.
or if you're interested in writing your story or telling your story either on video or writing it and putting it on our website, there are forms on there where you can share your story or get some other people of your friends to share their story. Mental health, lived experience, mental health, or being unhoused or substance use. We are open to all and ready to hear everything everyone has to say. Does anyone have any other? Teresa, you have your hand up again? Teresa?
So I'm just trying to figure out how to lower it. I
Oh,
apologize.
okay. No worries.
Okay. No worries. Yeah, you know,
think?
find new ways to, you know, get the word out. Like I'm trying to wear this cape every day, you know, because everyone knows that pink is the color for breast cancer, but no one knows that lime green is the color for mental health awareness. And I've been promoting this color for the last 10 years as hashtag Lady in Green on a grassroots mental health advocacy level. So, you know, wear your green, you know, make creative signs, go out and find ways to chat with people. Sometimes this sign actually worked the first night I wore it out. So people did ask me questions.
Paul, you had your
Did
hand
you want to
up?
say something?
Yeah, I just had wanted to share. I put most of our contact information into the chat box. So if you do want that, or if you didn't see it, you know, feel free to copy and paste. If you can't, then copy it down. They're not really long strings or anything like that. If you do have social media presence, share our website, share our information. And one thing that I've told a lot of people that are thinking, oh, I'll vote for it because it's going to help the homeless veterans or something. Don't listen to ads. If you watch Gavin Newsom's ads, it's like any political campaign. It's full of exaggerations and such. In this case, a lot of it is just flatly untrue. But please share the information about it. I've encouraged a lot of people. I said, you want to vote for it? Read the whole thing. If you really understand it, you're on your own, you know, but this was intentionally made very complicated, very long, very obtuse, very vague, just so that the entire argument, the entire discussion would be big, expensive ads, because he knew he was going to have $10-15 million to spend on ads. And we don't have that. You know, most of the people that are opposing this in terms of organizations can't support the campaign in a financial way because of their nonprofit status. And so our fundraising has been minimal, to say the least. And so we are depending on people who actually think about it, who get the facts, to spread that around and let people know, hey, this isn't what it looks like. And if you really want to know, go to the Prop 1 No website, or just read the darn thing. If you really agree with everything they're talking about, well, that's fine. That's fine to have an honest disagreement. But most people in the mental health space don't understand it all. So it's going to be extremely difficult for the general public to really understand what's happening and what this is all about. So definitely send people to our website, prop1no.com. And definitely share, follow us and on our different social media, mostly Prop One No on the different platforms, and share it, spread the word. I really appreciate you all being here.
Yes, we really appreciate every single one of you for being here. You know, like what Paul said, this is so long. I'm like, I wrote all these different words on it. I'm just like, it's not that self-explanatory. And it's just so, they even use stigmatizing language like, you know, the mentally ill. I'm like, hello, did you not learn from Disability Rights California that we're supposed to use person first language? People with mental illness or diagnosed with the mental illness,
Yes.
not the mentally ill. I mean, because when a person has cancer, you don't call them cancerous people. Do you? No, a person with cancer, a person with mental health
Alright.
condition.
So we would like to, if anyone has nothing else to add or any other questions, we would like to thank everyone for being here and for listening in. Spread the word. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Yeah, thank you for being here, everyone.